Morning guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video on the Fiat 500S. Today's video we're going to swap out that rear axle, and I've come up with the first problem already. I've got the jack under there, I'm going to get it jacked up, get some axle stands under it. Well, that was the plan anyway, until I popped the caps off and we got locking wheel nuts. We do not have the key for this car, so I'm going to have to get the tools out, smash the rings off around the locking wheel nuts, and then try and find something to go over that to get it completely removed. So I'm going to get on, try and get that done, and then hopefully we can get it up in the air, get the trays under it, start draining down the brake fluid and get that rear beam removed, get a new one in there and get it back on its wheels. A little bit testing, getting them off, but basically that's the locker, and they all have these obviously like spinning ring around them to stop that, obviously make them tamper proof, so that spins constantly, so you can't bang nothing over the top of it. But you can see I did bang an old socket over the top of it just to see if they was loose enough to go at first, but they wasn't. So I just got a pointed chisel, smacked it in there, split it open, and then they do just fall off, and then you are able to just tap an old socket over the top of them, and it does literally undo them straight away. So that's both of them done. Probably the messiest part about changing the back axle is the two brake pipes that are up underneath. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show them. No, they are quite far up, but basically this is where it joins. And if you can see, there's like a plastic coating over the pipe. It's not like an old copper pipe. And here they do corrode up. So when you try and undo it, it will literally just keep twisting and snap off the pipe. So what I've done was just cleaned up a bit of the plastic there. Then I just cracked it off. And as you can see, it started coming out. I'll leave that now for about an hour. Let it seep right in around the pipe and the fitting. Free it off, and then I can wind them out, and I haven't got to replace the brake pipes, because even though there is a joiner mid through the car, it's sort of literally straight up the middle there. There is a joiner for both of those pipes, but it is still a bit of a headache to change all that, so we'll try not to do it. I'm going to go off, have a cup of coffee, leave that for an hour to soak, and then hopefully I'll be able to undo them, remove the axle and slide the new one in. Good hour and they still wouldn't free up. So as you can see, I actually just kept winding them until they eventually snapped. So I will have to replace a little piece of new brake pipe there with some fittings on the end, but I can leave that dripping in them trays, leave that all night actually, and eventually it will all come out. So just moving on to the handbrake, like I said in the last car, put the handbrake right down, remove that little centre console. It's only one 10mm nut, and then we're able to get, sorry it is a bit awkward with one hand, we are able to get on that nut and twist that completely all the way open. Should be about finger tight now, and we can wind that right off. Probably a good idea to put this nut back on there if you're doing it for the first time, because you don't want to lose it. Let's get that wound right off. That was wound quite far up there, so. And then obviously you just twist these out, both sides, and that's the little bracket that I through inside the other car, so I couldn't show you. And then literally on these, it's a bit bright actually, literally you've got those little clips there that you just need to push those tabs in, and then the handbrake cables will push through. So I'll do that off camera. I'll crack on, get both of those handbrake cables pulled out, and then we'll get to the stage of getting the bolts undone underneath, and we'll drop it down. We'll drop the front of the axle down first and leave it hanging on the shocks. That way I can pull it straight out the way. So it is a bit of a weird one today, the video. Just 1 minute it's sunny, then it's cloudy, and then it starts get a little bit of a shower, and then that stops and dries up. So I do keep running in and out. But that is the beam back on there now. It's pure laziness. Earlier on I was struggling with that one, so I never actually got it off, and it'll be a lot easier to get that off there now anyway. So that's all fitted back on there. The handbrake, like I showed you earlier, that's all now back on there as well. And that centre console literally slides back over, and it has that one little 10mm in the back of it, which goes onto there. So very, very straightforward and easy to do when I have done quite a lot of them. So I'm going to have those two brake pipes. We're going to have to make those up. But for now, I'm going to dig out the, pull the little Suzuki van out, use a tyre machine, and chuck this tyre for a minute onto the new wheel that I bought off of eBay, so that we can get this back on its wheels and driving around. I am going to have to blank off the brake pipes, but we do have an handbrake to use temporarily until I can do that. The reason, quite a lot of you are going to say, Rob, why are you out here laying down and trying to do it, you know, without using a ramp? And the answer to that is, guys, obviously we've got the Cosworth on the ramp, and we've got the Range Rover LSE on the other ramp. I'm just going to quickly mention about that. So many people all the time, even though I did that bit of an update, they do say, what is going on with that car? We have not forgotten about that car, and we will never forget about it. We are going to get cracking. We are just waiting on some parts. As soon as they arrive, this will be done in a flash. The panels from this side and a couple of the other panels are actually at the paint shop, and they're in primer. I am going to be going there when he does the full repaint on them and videoing all of that for you. But there is stuff going on in the background. The panels are all being prepped and getting ready to just blast, because the guy wants to do all of it at the same time. We have got quite a bit of welding to do on all the new work on it, but like I said previously, we ordered Chris a new welding mask because his screen has had it. He got a shipping number, and it never ever left from that shipping number. That's all he ever got, was a shipping number, and it always said that it had been dispatched. There was no more information, and it's to this day never arrived. So he has received a refund, and he has ordered a new one. So rest assured, we are back on that as soon as we can. So I'm going to dig out the old tyre machine and get this tyre temporarily put on the new wheel that I got off of eBay, so that we can get this all back on its wheels and manoeuvrable. I was going to film some of that, but I literally had to have a fight with the tyre machine to get that tyre on there. It's very, very old, and it's been a long time since we used it, so I decided against it. But probably the hardest part about today's job has got to be getting that passenger side locking wheel nut off. It just absolutely took about half an hour to get it off. It drove me absolutely insane. But that's the wheel that I got off of eBay. It's in really poor condition, but it was very, very cheap. And it's going to do the trick. Once it's all refurbed, you're never going to know anyway. It is all surface, and it did look reasonably straight. So we need to get 4 new wheel nuts for it, because obviously I've bashed them lockers out. If you don't mind me doing this little bit live, just thought I'd quickly throw the wheels on it whilst chatting and working at the same time. It was quite bad, that axle as well. I just noticed it's got a couple of kinks in the middle where I've never seen them kinked before, so that did take a bit of a wallop, that axle. Just chuck these bolts in and then we're pretty much there, I think. I am going to leave those trays under there for a little while, just to drain the rest of that fluid off that's under there. Hopefully that does fit underneath there when I let it down, so I'll have to keep my eye on it. Yeah, lovely. So now we've got 4 straight wheels, straight all the way round. That front one hasn't actually got any holes in it at all, but where it's hit a bank or something like that, it's got loads of debris caught in between the wheel and the tyre. So I actually need to break the bead, put a bit of sealer in there and blow that back up. But obviously it is going to have 4-wheel refurb. It's probably going to want 2 new tyres, both this side. But again, this back one, I will be changing it anyway. But that wheel had the big chunk out of it, and that was the only reason this tyre didn't stay perfectly up all the time. So I'm quite happy with the progress today. It has been quite long doing it, but little bit, picking away at it, little bit each day, and it is getting there. So next step, I suppose, is that quarter panel. I was actually going to call it a day there and then come back to it tomorrow and start doing a bit more, but I just thought there's plenty of light hours left in the day and we're in no rush. Let's get that front bumper off and see what we got lurking behind that, because I still don't know. I haven't even looked, but let's get on with it and have a look behind now. So pretty much exactly what I expected. And I think that there is a good chance for this front bumper. I will give it a go with a soldering iron, see if we can do a bit of plastic welding, get it warmed up and see if it comes out. But all the fittings for the daytime running light are absolutely fine. You got this broken grille. That part was in there. You got this broken grille, but I have got one of these grills. Obviously I've got spare daytime running lights, and I've possibly even got this broken grille here. I'm not 100% if I have, but if I haven't, it's quite easy to get. This daytime running light, again, it is broken, and you could probably plastic weld that and repair it, but I've got them, so it's just not worth doing. I will replace it. But I think that the front bumper has got a fighting chance, and I'm going to be giving it a go, because these are quite sought after to get the Fiat 500S bumpers. Under here, again, exactly what I expected. This bumper bar is absolutely fine. It's not got one mark on it or one dent in it. You can pull that off. There you go, and there's no damage on there at all. That won't stay on there now, I'll pull it off, but never mind, let's put that up there. The bottom bar, that's the one I noticed through the bumper, and you can see it's gone up, it's hit the radiator, it's put a nasty kink in the aircon rad there. That aircon rad is still holding gas. I know it is because the aircon in the car blows ice cold, and you can see that where that has hit the radiator, it's pushed the water rad back and just broke the foot off the bottom of it. There's the foot still in there. So, and the rad is also holding water. As you can just about see there, it is right on the maximum, still holding all its fluid. But I mean, I've probably got a radiator kicking around. In fact, I know I have. So just for the sake of that foot, I will change it. Otherwise, you've got to start making up a bracket that goes into this aircon one, putting it over the top, and then drilling a hole in here and putting it. I mean, it can be done, but you know what I'm like, I like to do them 100%. So there was nothing untoward hiding behind there, and nothing I didn't expect. So it was really nice to add it to the video. So I'm quite happy with what I've achieved in today's day, really. Although it doesn't seem like a lot on camera, it really is a lot. Having that axle on there now, and having the wheels pumped up, and having it drivable and manoeuvrable really does make life that bit much more easier. So if it is raining when we're drilling out the quarter panel, I can quickly drive it inside. There's no drama with it. With the flat tyres and the old daytime running light was rubbing on the headlight, it was an absolute nuisance. So all in all, really good day's work, and loads more little bits done to it. So I think in the next video we'll cut off the quarter panel. We'll try and do some plastic welding on the front bumper. I've done that before and people seem to really enjoy it last time I did it, so we'll do a bit more of that. We'll take off that front wing, base up the inside of that. I'm getting ahead of myself now. I'm sure we won't get all that done in the next video, but you see where we're going with it. And then the sooner we can get it done, the sooner it can go out the paint shop and come back all finished. So that will be the end of today's video. It is a little bit of a long one, like the last couple, but we know that you really need them at the moment. So I'm going that extra mile to try and make it as long as I possibly can. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We really do appreciate it. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. Check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. And most importantly, for the little sneak peeks, Instagram, it's Salvage Rebuilds. Thank you all very much for watching. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you very soon in the next one.